So my next guest is Ruth Kenny. Ruth is a naturopath, and she's also got her own business, Ruth Kenny Natural Therapies, where she does things like Reiki and massage. So welcome, Ruth. I'm doing these interviews to show people they can take back their own power, take back the control for their health.
Yeah.
So, do you want to start by sharing a bit of your story with us?
Okay. Well, I guess I've always had an interest in health. Growing up, I've always had an interest in nature. My mum is a florist, so I always grew up with flowers and going for walks and identifying things and learning what plants you can eat and understanding things like that. My father was a carpenter, so he had an interest in trees and the natural world. So I kind of grew up in that environment of how important nature is around us. And I guess I kind of wanted to help people as well feel good, and so I kind of progressed and thought, well, what is it that I want to do? How can I get out into the world and help people? We did some research and looked into different forms of therapies and found the ones that resonated with me, which are the ones that I'm now qualified in: reflexology, aromatherapy, Reiki, and whatever. And after graduating, I got a job as a therapist, which I loved and whatever. And I put my heart and soul into it desperately, doing everything I could, everything that I'd learned to help make people better. And then I realized over time that with the greatest will in the world and my passion and excitement and as much as I was giving, that I was actually burning myself out because I was giving so much to people. And I realized unless people want to help themselves, they're not going to get better. So it was a very big lesson to me. And I realized that the more I was giving to people, the less I was giving to myself. And I became quite unwell. And I started suffering with panic attacks, anxiety, palpitations. And it was a real wake-up call for myself that I really needed to kind of look at my own health and fill my own cup before I was actually then able to go on and to help others. I went on to study further into naturopathy and nutrition. And that's where I kind of got a deeper understanding of how the body works and the importance. I always knew, obviously, food is the fuel of the body, and it is our medicine. It's what we, what makes us thrive. So once I started kind of working on myself more, and working through my health issues, I realized that I was actually able to kind of take control of my own health instead of seeking the answers elsewhere. First thing that we need to do is acknowledge that we want to improve something in our life, acknowledge that we actually do hold all the answers to our own health, and that we don't need to kind of seek the answers outside of ourselves to improve our health. We can have support, and we can, have encouragement and whatever, but we've got to have the acknowledgement that we want to be better. We want to kind of be in control. So the first thing that I think is really important is to listen and to learn from our body. Our body is always working in favor of us, even when there's ill health or we're not feeling on top of things. It's our body's way of drawing our attention to us, because we get so distracted with the outside world and what's going on. We kind of forget about, when we have a headache or when we don't feel so well. It's like, well, what is the cause of it? More often than not, people will go for the painkillers to get rid of the headache, or take laxatives to get rid of constipation and whatever. It gets rid of the symptoms, but it's not getting rid of the cause. So listening to your body and what it's trying to tell you, can be really, really key in helping you unlock the doors to stop it becoming a perpetual pattern. So, like I said, your body knows what's best for it, and it's working in favour of you. So, being aware of the effects that things outside of your body have on you. I mean, this can be things like the media, watching, what's going on at the moment. How is that making you feel? Is that making you feel good about yourself? Is it making you feel positive? Is it making you feel happy? And if it's not, think to yourself, do I need to be feeding myself this? If it's no, then don't do it. Trust your instincts. Does what you're hearing ring true to you? Does it sit right with you, with how your view on things? The gut is always the best. It's like the epicenter of where all knowledge comes from. What we put internal, so the food we eat, ensuring that we're hydrated, ensuring that we're putting good quality food into our bodies, ensuring that we're working with keeping ourselves physically active, so that we're able to kind of let go of things that are no longer serving us. Understanding that when we are toxic internally, that we're unable to find our truth because we're so closed down, it's like we've got the blinkers on and we can't see what it is that we need to be doing, our purpose. So actually putting the good things in the body, it allows every cell in the body to kind of be in harmony and to open out to our intuition, then our lighter selves, and to gain that knowledge of what rings true to us, our story. I think it's important that we take control of our own health and happiness, because if we're seeking it outside of ourselves, it's only going to work as long as that pill or that opinion works for us. Once that pill's gone and it's stopped working, you've still got the same problem. There's a lot of fear, isn't there, in a lot of people, which is causing anxiety, which is causing dehydration in the body, which then has a knock-on effect that you feel more fearful, and then it's like a perpetual cycle. But when you can realize that actually fear doesn't serve us unless it is a make or break situation where we have to flee, it's understanding that ensuring a simple thing like keeping well hydrated will really help with your fear level. I think this point is really important, because it's about allowing space internally and externally for you to grow. If we keep taking, there's going to become a point where we can't take any more. So ensuring that we take time to process things, run it through our intuition. Is this serving me still? Do I still need to hold on to this thought process or this belief? And being comfortable with the fact that it's okay to change your mind. What served you last week might not serve you this week or even tomorrow, so having the freedom to kind of give yourself permission to let go. And we can use different ways to release things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing. Writing down a list of all things that no longer serve you and burning that list. I quite often suggest to my clients to do that. If they're feeling really overloaded by emotions that they don't want to hang on to anymore, write it all down, acknowledge them for sure. That's important, not to pretend that they're not there, but to make the conscious effort then to kind of really release it.
A simple one is, if I have emotion building up in me, like I just feel a need to release something, then I'll put on really, I'm a sensitive person, so I cry at films. and I'll put on a film that I know is sad, and I will just cry it out. And it's the best way to release for me. And I think that
Absolutely.
people are afraid of crying as well.
It's crying is so I'm with you, Tina. I am a crier. It doesn't take me much, but it's so important, because again it's releasing from the body, it's releasing from the emotions, and when we hold on to it, we've all been in those situations where we've possibly felt that it's not appropriate to kind of break down, and how does it make you feel? You feel choked, you can't breathe, and if you think you're perpetually doing that, how
Yeah.
trapped you must feel in your own body, so just, yeah, cry it out.
We're just so used to suppressing everything, aren't we? It's just like,
Yeah.
because if all the medication, everything, we just suppress everything.
I think it's because, like you say, it's seeking things outside of yourself for the answers, when, we have all the answers. We just have to give ourselves the time and the energy and the focus to really look and take responsibility.
Yeah.
Responsibility is a massive one. It's like, who are we doing this all for? We have to start with ourselves. Got to love yourself, and it's okay to say I love you in the mirror, and that could be enough to bring you to tears, but it's okay to love yourself and to be proud of that. I think that's another thing that so many people feel like, oh, she so loves herself. It's like, that's okay. It's not saying that you're better than anyone else. It's saying that I respect you. It's saying that, I appreciate everything that you do. I there's a meditation that I think is really powerful, that correct me if I say it incorrectly. It's the Ho'oponopono meditation, and I find that really, really powerful in helping us to let go of the things that we hold on to emotionally, but also allow ourselves to forgive ourselves for the expectations that we have, because we have such high expectations for ourselves to work, non-stop 50, 60, 70 hours a week, to not put the nourishment in the body, to not rest, to not kind of do the things that bring us joy so much, and then expect us to feel great at the end of it. And it's not realistic. We are perfect exactly the way that we are, and it's just like, why do we feel that we have to prove ourselves to other people? We don't. It's we have to prove things to ourselves, that we are worthy, that we can do this, and that we do deserve love. I read a really nice quote the other day by I think it was Wayne Dyer, and he said, if I change the way that I look at things, the things that I look at change. And I think that's really powerful. And that, if we kind of seek the answers within ourselves, then, we are responsible then for our own health and happiness.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ruth.
Thank you, Tina, for giving me this time.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Okay, I will put your details on the back, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.